Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on this Wednesday for this Coronavirus HQ update. I'm Jordan Fremstead. The La Crosse County Health Department will no longer update the COVID-19 Compass. The department made the announcement early this afternoon. In a statement from the department, it reads, quote, "We are heading in the right direction. Things are looking better, and we would have not been in the red this week. Our general recommendations for prevention of COVID-19 remain the same. Practice good hand washing, avoid large gatherings, wear a mask or face covering, and keep physical distance from those outside of your household," end quote. Presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden is no longer expected to accept the Democratic nomination in Milwaukee. Health officials in Wisconsin have informed the Democratic National Convention Committee that speakers for the 2020 Democratic Convention should no longer travel to Milwaukee later this month. And that's due obviously to COVID-19. That includes Biden and his eventual running mate. This is the latest and strongest sign that the Democratic Convention is going to happen almost entirely virtual. President Donald Trump says he is looking at ways to bypass Congress while members of his administration and lawmakers continue negotiations on a new COVID relief bill. White House officials say they expect to work around the clock to try to reach an agreement by the end of the week. While local health experts urge many people as possible to wear a face mask, some are exempt. Gunderson Health System's infection preventionist says anyone with a qualifying medical condition, those with special needs, and babies are exempt. Health experts say there is no study that shows wearing a mask makes it harder for people to breathe. They say while wearing a mask outside in public is your personal choice, but not wearing one could cause serious consequences for others.
That's not to say that that next person you expose, whether it's a parent, a grandparent, your elderly neighbor, a random stranger that you pass by in the street. That's not to say any one of those that you come into contact with while not wearing a mask won't get seriously sick and potentially die from COVID-19.
The CDC recommends everyone older than 2 years of age to wear a mask when out in public unless they have symptoms or problems breathing or cannot take the mask off themselves. La Crosse County health officials say they now have a person who has counted twice in their numbers. That person was reinfected over 3 months after their original case. Looking at the current numbers, there are 10 new cases each in La Crosse and Eau Claire counties, and around Wisconsin there are 728 new cases and 12 new deaths. A second person has died in Monroe County from the virus, which has also 3 new cases to report at this time. There are 9 new cases in Trumpeau County and 1 new case each in Buffalo and Crawford counties. Looking at the latest numbers in Minnesota, there are 629 new cases and 9 new deaths. There are 3 new cases in Winona County and 1 new case in Houston County. And in Iowa, there are 688 new cases and 8 new deaths. There are 3 new cases in Winneshiek County. Lemon Wire Elementary in Tomah is setting the example for in-person classes for school districts across our region. The elementary school opened in mid-June and students returned to the classroom. A little less than a week later, a student was a presumed positive case for COVID-19. Now the school is implementing mask wearing, more social distancing, and cleaning measures. School leadership made the necessary changes. They moved their dismissal time and reevaluated their classroom setups. Along with those changes, Governor Evers issued the mask mandate that requires students to wear masks in schools. The principal says that they haven't had much pushback on wearing masks. Instead, they're seeing students behave the way they do during the wintertime.
A mitten situation where they misplace them or we're losing them on different areas throughout the building.
The school has not had another presumed positive COVID-19 case since the first incident in July. Principal Pope encourages other districts to reach out and learn from Lemon Wire when they are planning the transition from virtual learning back into in-person classes. We are unable to confirm if the minor tested positive for COVID-19, but the school has treated the incident as if the student did test positive. Aquinas Catholic schools are getting ready to reopen in just a few weeks as well. Starting August 26th, pre-K through 8th grade students will attend in-person learning 5 days a week in small class sizes. Students will remain in their classrooms for lunch and will be able to take mask breaks outside. For students attending Aquinas High School, the year will begin with a hybrid in-person learning plan. The plan will reduce the number of students by 50% in the school. Students will be assigned to one of 2 groups groups based on the family's last name. Half of the students will attend school while the other half learn remotely. Families also have the option to enroll their child in 100% online learning. Families need to contact their school office by email to register for the virtual-only option by Wednesday, August 12th. You can find that information at our website at news8000.com. As the use of hand sanitizer increases during the pandemic, so have the number of calls to poison control centers regarding possible exposure to toxic levels of alcohol. The products are labeled to contain ethyl alcohol, but have actually tested positive for methanol. If the substance is ingested or absorbed through the skin, it can be toxic or even life-threatening.
I would encourage individuals to check first to see what the FDA is saying. The FDA has a very comprehensive list on hand sanitizers that have been known to cause some toxic effects, to check that and make sure that the product they have in their house is not on that list.
The accidental ingestion of nearly relatively small amounts of methanol by children may pose a serious poisoning risk. If you or a child accidentally swallows hand sanitizer, call the Wisconsin Poison Center right away and don't wait for symptoms to develop. Call 800-222-1222 if there is a concern. We want to thank you for joining us for this update, and we hope you'll join us tonight at 5, 6, and 10. Take care.